This is Diablo 3. We're here on, well, Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the videos. Subscribing is great as well. So this is an interesting visit to the game. This is something I've covered. Basically, I played on Xbox One, and then eventually on Series X, and then it got the current gen upgrade, or well, the next gen update, and I wasn't able to take a look at it on Series S because, well, I actually owned a physical copy for this game. And now I don't have to use it anymore, which is an interesting change up. So this game is actually kind of technically improved for Series S, which is awesome. And yeah, the results here are pretty great. So if you're not familiar with Diablo 3, this is essentially the third mainline entry in the, well, Diablo franchise. It continues the battles of the heavens and those down below, the eternal fights, and yeah, it kind of follows a group of characters dealing with the, I want to call it a resurgence. They're always, you know, those demons, they're dying, they're coming back. It's, you know, you can't keep track of these things, right? They come, they go, and, you know, you're fighting them. But, yeah, basically the possible resurgence of dark presences, as always, is the starting point for Diablo, and then you go on from there, and it becomes a battle, and then there's a couple of expansions, and to some degree, some of them are kind of like baked in, and there's a whole thing with like a necromancer class. I'm actually surprised this game didn't get more kind of content, if that makes sense, in terms of expansions and that. It's quite interesting, but yeah, I would say the results here are pretty great. Like it's a solid game. It is a little friendlier in terms of like aesthetics and stuff in comparison to something like Diablo 2, 3, and 1. This one is a little bit more light and vibrant. It definitely fits into the styling of what you'd be used to if you've played Blizzard games. Like, it's not too out of the box in regards to something visually and stuff. Like, it definitely looks like Diablo. It looks like a Blizzard game. It just doesn't have that like dark kind of appeal and aesthetic and like grimdark aesthetic that we're probably used to if you have played, well, Diablo games over the years. And then it's a little sillier with like the hits where you get like 4 billion attack points or something like that for every hit. And what kind of damage am I going to do? 43,000 damage or whatever, 100,000 damage against some of these things, 300, 400,000 damage, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of a little, it was a thing of the time too, like it definitely fit that vibe of that era, so I get it for sure, but yeah, definitely a little sillier at the time. But yeah, no, it's still quite fun, an expansive game, full content. You know, it's feature complete at this point as we moved on to Diablo 4. There's still like seasonal type heroes you can make, or just do regular heroes, or different difficulty tiers to make it harder, and you get better loot and more rewards the harder it goes. Yeah, it's a very lengthy, like the game itself is quite long, and then of course you could replay it with the several different classes that are available to have different, you know, abilities and different ways to enjoy it, and then you keep replaying it with hard difficulties for more loot and blah blah blah. The usual cycle of Diablo action. So anyways, this was like a next-gen update that did happen a while back, so it is 1080p at 60 FPS for this one. It looks pretty good, it runs fluidly. As far as Series S goes, there's not much more you can really ask for, especially for something that is, I guess to a degree it would be more next-gen aware, but yeah, no, it's a pretty good showcase. It's a great dungeon crawling game. At this point, like if you've been playing Diablo 4 and wanting something similar but something different, obviously this precedes it. You don't have to have really played Diablo to dive into this Diablo and understand things. You get the gist of the story as you go through it. The gaps are so long between entries in this franchise that, like, you probably just won't think about it all. You'll just dive in and be like, oh, okay. But no, it really is. It's great dungeon crawling action. You could sit here just mindlessly playing this for hours and hours and hours and have a really great time. And, you know, it's got those stunning Blizzard cinematics. It's got the gameplay action that you would expect from this entry in the series. It's just, as I mentioned, it is a game of its sort of specific time, and the aesthetic is driven by that. It's still like the same sort of like story and gameplay and, you know, gruesome world and all that. It's just a bit more colorful, and you get to visit some more divine places as you go about exploring, and taking on more challenges, and of course there's tons of bosses and a variety of enemies and locations and environments. And I don't know why we're here. I think I just had like an objective marker for like a quest or something, and I was like, yeah, we'll do this area. I think this is like Act 5 or something. Like, it's pretty far into the game, but you know, we're just sort of dungeon crawling, so it doesn't really... It won't really impact anything from you for a story perspective. I mean, in general, you're just dungeon crawling in this game, right? You're just going in and slashing and bashing your way through foes and stuff like that. It does have some decently detailed kind of skill tree options. Like, there's the resemblance of a skill tree thing, and sort of have a little bit of a compounding thing as you work on your like paragon and stuff, and you build up your character across your adventures. And yeah, like it's a pretty well done setup. I guess we could have just went in there. I think we're just here to kill somebody, but I thought we'd look around a bit and take in the sights and kill some of the creatures. But no, I really do quite like this experience. I think it's really quite great. If you've never played it before, it's a great time. It's especially great with pals. Like, if you play it with others, you know, you've got online co-op for 4. Should be, yeah, local co-op as well for 4 too, I guess. Which is kind of cool. Probably why it's not pushing something higher for fidelity on Series S, I would imagine, actually. But kind of a neat option. But yeah, just a very well done for console offering. I just remember this being kind of interesting and exciting when it came out, and playing through it with some pals, and then yeah, kind of seeing it here now so many years later and kind of playing it. It's a nice journey, but like I said though, like if you're seeing that this is pretty easy going, it genuinely is. I've set it up that way. It's not very challenging for my level 70 character here, and I like to use this character as a demo option just because I am kind of a little bit tougher. But yeah, you crank that difficulty up, you get better loot, you get better XP gain, you get more challenge, you get all the stuff you would want out of a difficulty bump up. The choice really is up to you and how you want to kind of go about it. But yeah, it's got all the signature elements of Diablo. I think a lot of people kind of fight endlessly in regards to like what they like from the series, as they do. They're similar games. Like at the end of the day, you're a character from a specific class, and you come down and you fight hordes of enemies and bosses, and there's a gripping and intense narrative going on in the backdrop, and then you wrap things up, and that's, you know, that's what this series is. It mostly comes down to which of them you kind of like. See, this one, again, just, especially after coming after Diablo 4, which I enjoy so much, it just seems so, like, colorful and happy. Which is fine, it works, it's still, like, you know, a great time. It's not a knock on this one at all, but yeah, definitely. I hope that maybe someday they revisit this, like, remaster it someday. I know it doesn't really need it, because, you know, it looks fine, everything like that, but down the road, I hope they do that and kind of redo it in a darker kind of... Like, I think just recoding this in, like, a sort of aesthetic that's, like, a little bit more grim and grimdark. Story, everything else is there, even the brutality and the narrative is all there. It's just, yeah, something about it too happy. Even as there's piles of blood everywhere, but I think the formula of Diablo is pretty strong, though. Like, if you've never seen this series before, a blood thief, a fate peddler? That's a new one, because there's like treasure golems, but what do you consider? I don't know if I've seen that one before. Odd. I just think of the treasure goblins. That's... maybe I'm just not thinking right. Could be. Anyways, let's go kill this thing here or whatever. But no, it really is filled to the brim with like content and excitement and action. And as I said, like it's like finished, right? Like it's done. It's had its full wealth of content. It's basically a mature Diablo dungeon crawling experience. You don't have to wait for the full thing or anything like that. Not that you have to for Diablo 4, but I'm mostly saying, you know, the Diablo 4 you play, even at this time, and you compare it to the time like 10 years from now, it's going to be completely different, right? Just in terms of content. And that's what I'm looking at for this, is like, you know, that's happened. The time has gone by, things have evolved, but now you get to enjoy it all. And I think that's really, really quite exciting. Whereas much of whatever version you have access to sort of allows, I guess, too, right? Because they had the Necromancer under like a premium thing, but yeah, anyways, it's a lot of fun. No, seriously, like it's very, very good. Yes, the Reapers of Souls, and there's like the Necromancer thing too. Rise of one of humanity's last defenders. There's the Crusader, the Barbarian, the Witch Doctor, the Demon Hunter, the Monk, or the Wizard. And like I said, the premium thing was the Necromancer class. They always do like a different class with class setups with this one. Like they're usually similar, but they'll have different vibes and styles to them as you know they go on for different things. Then we talk about the partying. And there's some elements of online interactivity too that, you know, is a thing, and you fight through the hordes of evil. Oh yeah. Through the intense storyline. Explore the open world in adventure mode or hunt bounties. Yeah, lots of content. Lots of creatures to kill. You can honestly just throw this on for a few hours and just go through like hordes of enemies, even if you're not like totally enthralled narratively. Which, if you haven't played the story in this, like, pretty good. It's cool, neat characters, messed up, you know, things going on, lots of demonic hordes. Yeah, it's lots of fun. Seriously, great game. Oh, I'm not gonna get this challenge, am I? Yeah, I'm nowhere near it. We're supposed to do like 100 in that amount of time. It's because I keep getting hit with the negative, like, oh, the negative thing, but the reverse controls attack. Oh. You can get the bonus. See, the reverse controls attack, it keeps setting me the other way, and it's like not allowing me to hit my full potential. I should have killed the shamans, or sorry, the prophets. Should have killed the prophets before I went to the chest. That would have been a lot smarter, I think. Yeah, that might have allowed me to actually get my goal there. And then, of course, classes, depending on your interest in regards to how you play, that can be a big factor too. Because you're still... I thought we killed all of you. Yeah, so depending on what you choose for your class, you could be like ranged, you could be more close. I usually do like a paladin type role, so the crusader's sort of my vibe in this one. But there are other elements too of things where it's like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that, and it's a whole thing. Where's the thing with the life? Yeah. Do I need life, though? I guess if I'm doing harder difficulties, it's usually a good idea to do that. So this is like your Paragon system. Oh, I have 3. Wow, that's cool. Maybe I should do critical hit chance, critical hit damage. Yeah, no, that'd be good. Area damage, life per hit.
That's too expensive.
I thought I put that in there. Life per hit, yeah. Strength, vitality. What? Oh, it doesn't like save, and then it's... Okay, I got it. Alright. Good. Yeah, skills, lots of skills, smaller skills within those skills, and then you've got your different inventory, all these different weapons you can have. Why am I using that when this other thing does so much damage? I guess I just don't care, right? I guess I just don't care. And I'm leaving all this loot everywhere because, again, I can't be bothered. Like, even if it's good loot, I'll just find something better later anyways. Not too worried. Not too worried at all, but... No, I really do think it's pretty great and rewarding, too. You can just kind of, like, mow through it, and... It really is a lot more fun, though, if you can play this with friends. I do highly recommend, if you can get, like, a squad together, that is kind of the way to go about it. And just because you and a group can have, like, such a great time just mowing through all these enemies. Why aren't you dying? I had to call in this, like, special tornado thing, or, not tornado, sorry, like, Hammer of Dawn? Kill that guy? This thing's just spitting out enemies. It's kind of funny. How were you born? I was spat out by a demonic... whatever that's called. Sorry, it's dying now, so you can't tell anyways. Wow, that's a big fall for it. It's going all the way down there. Now this is a little. I guess if you've been playing the newer Diablo, like the newer Diablo is like a large open scale MMO sort of thing. This still has interactions with like other players and that, but it's not. It's not like that. It is, you know, more traditional segmented levels. Why is this sword so divine compared to other like swords? The sword's got like a special orange glow. I've got to grab it. 3162 agile thing. Oh, the war invasion. Like most of my stuff here is really good. A question mark unidentified sword? Get out of here. What do we got with this bad boy? Wow. Yeah, I love this sword because it's just like dripping, you know what I mean? I think it's because I got all these things with like runes in them, that's why I don't switch my armor stuff. I just love the look of the sword, it like reminds me of Monster Hunter, it's sweet. A rainbow goblin? What? Maybe we're just seeing the fun goblins. Is it because it's like a seasonal thing or something like that? Which is sort of funny because like I was just playing this, right, like just the other night. I was like going through it with like a new character class. And it's just regular golems or goblins. And this is so much different. Whimsydale? Oh! Yes! Yeah! The unicorn land! We're fighting the unicorn! What a pleasant surprise! I love this kind of stupid stuff. Oh, Diablo, you're so much fun. Huh. Well, this was worth a revisit for the Series S, I'll tell you that much. Happy Cloud!
I'm overburdened.
I don't care that I'm overburdened. I want all the rubies. Imperial rubies? What kind of rubies do I have right now that I can't fit these rubies in? Where is my ruby selection? Treasure, cosmetics, gems. Okay, we gotta like... I feel like we gotta get rid of something. Well, these things you can slot stuff in. See, I don't know what I was doing with some of my class setups, and I'm like, if I come in here to ruin things, like... You know what I'm saying? I want to at least collect the Imperial Ruby. These rubies are pretty good, aren't they? Like...
Out of room.
Oh, it was worth it. Death's Breath. Look, the clouds spit out rubies! Oh, this is so cool!
Not enough wrath.
I love these happy clouds. Well, that was a fun surprise. I guess the goblin was a true treasure. An Imperial Diamond. Yeah. Look, there's a pot of gold. Well, this is just... I'm glad I took the time to come and check out the Series S version of this game, I'm telling you that much. Thanks, Happy Cloud. Happy clouds, happy days. Then we killed the Care Bears and stuff. Wow, yeah, no, this is great. Killing unicorns. This is what gaming is all about, believe it or not. This is what gaming's all about.
My bag is full.
That's too much crap I've got. But if this belt is super great. A new fashionable belt. Let's see what we've got today. Hardly worth it. So yeah, Diablo 3. The ultimate fun, colorful adventure. You know it is. Yeah.